Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
Survive, thrive, stay alive. It's time to get prepared with the Prepping Academy podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to Prepping Academy. I am Forrest. Today we're going to continue our podcast interview with Joe and Amy Alton, known as Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy. And without any further ado, let's continue the interview. One thing I think is overlooked a little bit is the psychology, the psychic. When the crap hits the fan, there's got to be a mental mindset that one must go in to really be able to handle this and to know that maybe that they're the experts. Like there's people within my group, my survival group, and they are experts, but I know there's many groups that don't have a doctor or nurse. And so, and the idea of someone just kind of like, okay, I'm in this role. I know more than anyone else here. I'll of course feed on everyone else, but I've got to be the medical person and take charge. And that's going to happen more often than not when people are in or makeshift communities and they're going, well, I went through, Stop the Bleed once. Well, you're in charge. I mean, that could be someone's highest level of education. Do you guys talk about that some in your books or what?
Yes.
Okay.
We have one entire section that's called Becoming a Medical Asset.
Okay.
And so basically it talks about how to go about figuring out if you are the medic, if you're going to be the medic. And if it gives you a job description that you can really look at and see, oh, you know what, this is something that I can do, or this is something that, no one else could do but me, for example, from our particular group or our particular extended family.
But wait, we do have two time periods here. I mean, there's a pre-disaster, I've decided I'm going to learn all this stuff, but there's also what he's also talking about is post-disaster. The SHTF already hit the fan and you didn't go and read the book and learn all the stuff, but you did take a Stop the Bleed class and now you're Johnny on the spot.
If you took the Stop the Bleed class, then
and no one else has ever done that, right?
You're the medic,
right?
That's all I can say.
Now, I hope your library has one of our books that you can go read.
Now, I just want to say that you have various responsibilities if you're going to be the medic, and you basically are the. You're not just the chief medical officer, you are the chief dental officer, because there are going to be as many people coming to you with dental issues. I mean, I'm not talking about if a storm knocks the power out for a week. I'm talking about a true long-term, hits the fan situation. Those people are going to be coming to you as often for dental issues as they are for medical. So you need to learn about dental stuff.
Yep.
You need also to be willing to be the chaplain or the counselor. You talked about mental issues. There are mental issues that are going to be. You may not have gunfights at the OK Corral on a daily basis, but I will tell you that you're going to have people that are depressed and have people that are anxious on a daily basis, and you need to be able to deal with them compassionately, confidentially, and to be able to deal with their issues so that they keep their mind off. Sometimes you can't change the situation, but you can keep people busy. You can talk to them and make them feel like they're not alone in all this.
Man, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That is
game over, man. Game over.
Game over.
Even the soldiers,
man.
Even the soldiers on the field, I don't think ever even said that. No, man, hang on.
Okay, so don't use that language. Okay, I'm with you.
it even goes to even more specific things, like you're the quartermaster when it comes to medical supplies. I mean, you've got a certain amount of antibiotics, you got a certain amount of bandages, you got a certain amount of this supply, or that supply. Who decides when these get dispensed? There's got to be one person that's in charge of that, and that's you, medic. So these are there's this whole series, and also you're the chief sanitation officer. I haven't really mentioned sanitation much, but the truth of the matter is, if you do not make sure the human waste is disposed of properly, then what you're going to have is infection running rampant among your community. So you have to be able to figure out, how do I put together a latrine? I mean, simple things like that. Simple but involve some work, and so you have to be able to deal with these things, and they're part of your job description.
So going along with that, let's say that I'm the medic and I've been to stop the bleed, I know CPR, the psyche, I'm telling people lies, hey, you're going to survive. That's going to be fine. That's just a flesh wound. You'll get over it. What happens? I mean, what would you suggest? All of a sudden, I'm in the heat of the moment, and there's something just beyond my capability of doing. What do I fake it and try to make it? Do I just, as a group, say, guys, what do we do? I mean, because there's going to be people get to a situation we go, we don't know.
Right.
Like
removing
an
an
appendix.
appendix.
Patient that,
Right. Like an appendix.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about abdominal surgery for somebody who's only taken a stop the bleed class. They don't even know where it is.
Right.
They don't know what the first thing to do.
Someone's leg has been shot off, and you're like, okay, I think we got to take the leg. I don't know. I mean, so what do people do? They just kind of make it up and try their best?
I'll tell you.
By the way, both of those topics are in that book.
Right.
Oh,
in the book.
Amputation, taking care of an amputation.
I knew that because
and also removing an appendix.
Both step by step.
It's very few things you're going to find that are not in that book.
It's all in the books. Assuming you don't have the book, then you know that there are going to be situations where the hard reality is that there's not going to be much you can do for somebody. If you have somebody that's gut shot or has a bullet in the chest, there's going to be a 70-something% chance that they're going to not make it.
There are things,
and it goes back to Civil War statistics.
Yeah,
you're going to be thrown back medically to Civil War times if the what really hits the fan, and if that's the case, well, you can expect survival rates to be in that ballpark.
Pretty low. The only advantage we have now is that we understand germ theory.
Yes.
They did not back then. So the doctors who were doing the surgeries were not washing their hands in between these soldiers.
They're smoking cigars while they were amputating.
They had just they went stuck their hands in one person, and then they stuck those same bloody hands in the next person, and the same bloody hands in the next person. And then they ate, I don't know what, and then they went back. I mean, who knows what poor sanitation was occurring back then. We do understand now about washing our hands and about cleanliness and sterile fields and, sterile water versus clean water versus the dirty water. That is an advantage we do have. But there are just some things that, even again, with the book, us telling you step by step doesn't mean that it's going to go perfectly or that person is going to survive. We're trying to give you some tools, but it doesn't mean the book means all of your patients will live.
During the Civil War,
happened.
During the Civil War, 30% of amputations done correctly and quote cleanly ended in a fatality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I finally got the appendix. No, that's the liver. Darn.
Wrong quadrant.
Well,
so
you better start teaching anatomy earlier, I think.
Okay.
There are 4 quadrants to the abdominal cavity.
So what I hear you saying is, if you're in a survival group, you need to kidnap a doctor or nurse.
Well, but that doctor might be a neurologist who doesn't know anything about delivering a baby, or that doctor might be a cardiologist who has no idea where your appendix is. Like
Okay.
he remembers that from medical school 40 years
Right.
ago.
Just a general
X-ray.
MD. You're saying people should kidnap them before the crap hits the fan.
Well,
right?
but you need someone who's not only a general MD, but who's a general surgeon.
Okay.
Who has delivered babies, who has, I mean, there's just like unfortunately there's a lot of skills that not a lot of doctors have all of. There's a lot of specialties out there.
Bottom line, it's good to have a medical professional in your group.
But we're kidding about the kidnap.
Yeah. Yes, please do. I don't want to fear that.
Yeah. After the crap hits the fan, people can go, that Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy, they told me to kidnap this guy and he's not happy.
No, do not do that.
So, one of the basic things that everyone needs, even if you don't even believe the world's coming to an end or hard times are coming, is a basic first aid kit. How would you, and I know you guys sell a ton of these on your website, and what's the mindset in putting one of these together, and why, I'll set you up, why are yours the best first aid kits in the world, on the planet?
We have given it, I mean, like a 15 years of thought, just specifically designing kits, 15 years. I think that's a lot of thought. I am very meticulous about what we put in our kits. The space that I have is considered, the variety of medical conditions, as much as I can cover, even within our small little compact kit,
Yes.
which is carried, on your belt.
Much more than the average first aid.
I think of, what are the common issues that someone's going to have if they're just hiking or they're going on a short camping trip. How much space do I have? So I try to give a variety. They're hand packed. I only use high quality medical supplies, including for the trauma kit, for the trauma supplies, what our military carries. What are they carrying, because they are the ones who are having the issues, that was at one point on a daily basis, we were having injuries. So what are the highest quality supplies that I can put within these kits?
Plus, I mean, we have one of a kind kits, like dental kits, a dental kit that you can deal with 90% of dental emergencies, including giving you the ability to extract teeth safely, to fill loose fillings. I mean, lost fillings, fasten crowns, to deal with tooth abscesses, things like that.
Removing a tooth. And give you all of the instruments that are used in your dental office. The same instruments are in this kit that remove teeth. So if you have to do an extraction, you can do that. We have an OB/GYN kit, a baby delivery kit. Well, I have an eye kit that is for eye injuries. I have a nose kit, which are specifically for broken noses and nasal trauma.
And a rectum kit. Don't forget about that.
And many kits.
I actually have not done a rectal rehydration kit. I could do that. I could put that together without a problem. And it would probably be really reasonably priced. And you could have a whole rectum rehydration kit. That might be my next
You have a good idea there.
Thank you. You got the kit, but what about the drugs? Is that something people can procure now?
So some of our larger kits do have a lot of the basic drugs that people have. Some
OTCs, over the counter
drugs. So if you have one of our larger kits, not only are you able to deal with multiple episodes of trauma, multiple episodes of disease, but it comes with some of the basic stuff that deals with mundane issues like fungal infection, athlete's foot or something like that, or a blister, or things like that. So we deal with not only life-threatening things, but we deal with the mundane things, everything that the medic is going to have to be faced with on a regular basis. It's not always going to be somebody who's been shot in the heart. I mean, it's going to be some people saying, I've got this rash, doc, and so that's why we write about those things too, and we include items to help with that in all of our kits.
Absolutely.
And remember, our kits, like a lot of other kits, are put together by an actual physician and nurse practitioner.
Nurse practitioner and physician.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry. I got the order wrong. Got
We
the
know who
order.
does the work. We
I'm
know
kidding. I'm kidding.
So we had a pandemic. We had this national stop the bleed. So I would say, and I think you guys would agree with me, America's probably more prepared medically than ever before.
I would think
would
that
hope so.
3% of America is better
Oh.
prepared than ever before.
We don't
Because
know
we
what
how to clean our
statistics are
hands.
now.
We know the mask. We know how to do the stop. A lot of people, only 3% took stop the bleed.
Yeah, I don't think more than that.
I don't know statistics.
I certainly not. I don't think that more than 3% of the population has taken a stop the bleed class to the point that they paid enough attention to be able to actually stop the bleed. I mean,
Gotcha.
sometimes you have to practice something. Like when we do our suture classes, we give people extra suture to take with them home because
Right.
we need them to practice it. Having thrown a couple of stitches in a class is not enough to feel
You're
confident.
teaching that at Mount
We are
Redding.
teaching-
We are doing
teaching that.
doing one class. Yeah, that
we're-
class in the morning on Saturday, May 4th. And
Right.
you
But
can
they have to
find that.
sign up for that, right?
Yeah,
not-
and I only have a few spots left. If you want to sign up, it's store.doomandbloom.net and look under classes. I have one class. It's the only one there.
That's right now.
I don't have any other classes right now, so you'll find it easily. And it is May 4th, and it's in the morning on that Saturday morning, and it's usually a good 4.5 hours.
Mhm.
So
It's
figure
serious-
till from like
serious-
9 to 1-ish.
Yeah.
It'll be, and then you're going to speak. I told her
Probably
around
3.
3. I'm not sure when she actually
Put me
scheduled
up.
you. I'm not sure if she's
All
done
right.
that yet.
All right, no problem.
Okay, how do you suggest people, parents or kids, to talk to other family members that all this stuff is really not necessary?
You would think people would be awake after this pandemic. Like this would be something. This was a worldwide shutdown disaster. You couldn't get toilet paper. I know for us in our Publix, the meat department was empty for a couple of days. There wasn't even a spot of hamburger. I mean, there's been egg shortages and bacon shortages and bread shortages. And I mean, like, how much do we have to see in the world that we're like on a few days supply and then there's nothing coming into your grocery store to where we wake up? You would think every single person would be like, oh, yes, I need to store stuff. But there are still people who act like this didn't happen. I don't understand it.
I think there
That
are a lot of
normalcy
people.
bias.
There's a normalcy bias. It's hard to get through it. It's hard for people to remember things. I mean, people look what's happening in certain parts of the world. So you could draw parallels to what happened before the last World War, and things that are happening right now, and people have basically forgotten, what all that meant. I mean, we've forgotten a lot of things. We've forgotten how to go to the moon, apparently.
Apparently, yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you can't depend on people.
So what do we tell people? So his question was, what do you tell someone who says, I don't really need to prepare. Nothing like this will ever happen. I guess you bring them back to the situation that happened 4 years ago right now in March, April, 4 years ago. Oh, we're going to shut down for 2 weeks. So that didn't go over very well. And it wasn't 2 weeks. It was more like 2 years.
Well, I'll tell you what I would tell them. I would tell them
been that long.
I would tell them, well, you know what? In 2010, we had the Hong Kong flu pandemic. I mean, swine flu pandemic.
Uh-huh.
Before that, we had the Hong Kong flu. We had in 2014 Ebola, which was an epidemic that killed 40,000 people. We had Zika the following year. We had chikungunya that year and the year after that. And we have dengue fever even going on right now. We have malaria going on right now. And we had COVID-19. So that's since 2010. How many pandemics has that been? How many people have died as a result of the diseases that I've just mentioned? I mean, it just boggles my mind that people forget how important it is to be careful, and especially when it comes to preventing infection.
Just having supplies. That's the whole point of this. Is why do I need to have supplies? There are people like, I don't need to prepare. I don't need. Yes, you do. Look what just happened. You couldn't
And what
even get
happens
toilet
not
paper.
what
Can we
happens not
just
uncommon
speak
in life?
about you couldn't get toilet paper? I don't think people realized that the hospitals were having as much problem as they were having. I think they tried to hide that. I know it was happening because I buy a lot of my supplies from this country's biggest hospital supply company called Medline. Medline went into complete shutdown and panic because they weren't getting supplies. They limited not only how many supplies I could buy as a small business, but how many supplies the hospital could get, how many boxes of gloves, how many boxes of gauze. They were having shortages in surgeries, finding supplies. Not everyone knows this, but there was serious issues in the hospitals, which you think would be number one priority. They couldn't get what they needed.
I knew
They
someone.
were desperate.
I knew someone who was a lung specialist during that time, and that person, I've never seen anybody look more haggard in my entire life. That person was going through all sorts of stuff, dealing with the amount of just being overworked.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
I don't remember COVID-19, but I do remember the great bacon shortage.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Yes.
When bacon was getting short in
Yes, I
grocery
remember.
stores.
I remember when
Yes.
Disney raised its ticket prices. Yes.
Yeah.
Important
But when bacon
things,
was on the shelves, though, I was getting ready to go to my bunker. I mean, things were getting bad.
Yeah,
So-
I have a picture of Publix and the empty meat department. I took a picture of it. I was like, I can't. I would take pictures of the empty toilet paper and paper towel aisles, and that was interesting. But when I went in there and there was no meat at all, not a single protein product, that was pretty serious.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That was like, wow, this can happen.
I almost went Rambo when that happened. I'm like, no bacon? Okay. We're going to get
Big trouble.
so let's talk about natural remedies. Because you guys I predict that people are going to run out of gauze, they're going to run out of aspirin, they're going to run out of Tylenol, they're going to run out of a lot of things. So what kind of natural remedies and of course, this is something you probably need to learn beforehand.
Yes.
But what's some basic, and how would people maybe start to learn a little bit of this stuff so they can be ready?
There are actually really good online courses for herbal medicine. I don't have a particular one that I would highly recommend because I think there's a lot of them. I love Mountain Rose Herbs for the source. So after you've learned about them, it's a smaller company. They know where each and every one of their herbs come from, and they will tell you how each and every one of them are processed. Great source of information. They actually have a blog. They have, lots of educational material. I don't know if they actually run a course, Mountain Rose Herbs, but find an herbal course, something that has some good reviews. Take the courses, and not just one source. Go do 2 or 3 different places, because one herbal course might be like, oh, this cures everything. This particular herb cures the cancer, and it cures this and this and that. Okay, all right, take that with a grain of salt. Take a couple more courses, and then really get a feel for what everyone in the business of herbal medicine is really kind of saying together. Like, we all know chamomile tea will relax you. We all know lavender can be an antiseptic. There are just some givens, and then there's some outrageous claims. Try to filter through that, because in herbal medicine, there are people, that claim that this herb cures everything, and that herb cures everything. And if you take this, you don't have to take your insulin, and you don't have to take your heart medicine. And take it with a grain of salt, because Some people go extreme. We like to integrate a little of this and a little of that, and then maybe you find the right balance.
So in peacetime where everything's fine, would you agree with me that go ahead and buy the real medicine now instead of buying the natural medicines that you could use later? Because
I think you should do both.
of
for-
course you would.
It's
Well, my whole
not a
theory.
bad idea. Extracts last a long time if you store them properly. I don't
Okay.
think there's a problem with buying some extracts. We discussed raw honey. I mean, it has a lot of uses and it never expires. So I have a 5-gallon bucket of raw and processed honey.
But what I'd
Yeah.
like to put forth is, number one, you are absolutely right. People should buy
The
a lot of
commercial made
over-the-counter
right now.
medications, and you should buy them in quantity because they will last, in most cases, if they're in pill or capsule form, they'll last years beyond the expiration date.
Right. Don't buy the gel capsules. Like if you're going to buy ibuprofen, buy the solid capsules. Buy the tablets.
Right. But at the same time, and we believe it's so important to actually not only know about natural medicine, natural herbs and things like that, but we put an entire section in our book
Yes.
telling you how to grow a medicinal herb garden.
Yes.
And
some of the common uses for some of the common herbs.
Right, exactly. And we are both graduates of the Master Gardener course through the state of Florida's agricultural extension program. That doesn't mean that we know much about the ecosystem or the biodiversity in Alaska, for example, or Russia, but we do know how to grow herbs in our area. What grows here, what will do well, what won't do well, right plant, right place. That those are things that you need to know, and people should know that almost every state has some kind of program like the Master Gardener course, and most of them actually call it Master Gardener. And so check out through your agricultural extension office how to put together a good garden.
And find out how much they focus on growing food, because some of these are like, oh, we're going to put poison on your grass and show you how to fertilize a palm. That's not going to help us in a grid down situation. So the other thing besides taking herbal medicine courses is if you can find somebody who a hippie and we did what was his name? Green Dean. Not mean. He's not mean. Green Dean.
Mean, lean, Green Dean.
Green Dean in the state of Florida. We went on a tour.
Yes.
And he showed us where you can find certain herbs in Florida. Mm-hmm. So if you can find somebody who does a field trip that you can go out with this person that is somewhere you live and show you where this mushroom grows and where this herb, it's special place that, no one else knows, and show you what they look like and maybe tell you a little bit about the herb. That kind of field trip outdoors is very useful. So maybe you can find an herbal guru who knows your local, what's growing in your local area.
Right.
So we're getting close. I've only got 74 more questions left. So
oh, good.
I think you're gonna have to break it into 2 shows like we talked about.
Yeah.
So how about people with limited finances? What do you suggest? Is this a dollar? I mean, because let's be honest, you can walk in a dollar store and get galls for a dollar. I mean, it's amazing what you can get. But what's your answer if people go, well, I just can't afford all the medical supplies? Then I usually say, you're just going to die, so don't even worry about it.
Don't say that.
Oh, don't
I've
say
never
that.
heard you say that.
Okay, sorry, I shouldn't say that.
So some things, and again, we have this in our book. Under the medical supplies are things, household items. So one of the greatest things you can do, and if you think about the Civil War, what did they use for bandages? White cotton. Just buy a bunch of cheap, on sale white cotton sheets. Get the flat ones. Obviously, you don't need the ones with the elastic gathered, but whatever size, king size, queen size, whatever's on the best sale, buy white cotton sheets. You can make amazing things. You can make triangular bandages. You can do head bandages. You can do gauze. You can, wrap any extremity. I mean, you just need that in an unlimited quantity. You're going to be able to rewash these things, sterilize these things. If you can boil water, you'll be able to clean them, reuse them. White cotton sheets, absolutely the greatest. Buy local, raw, unprocessed honey. Maybe you know a beekeeper, you can trade for it. Excellent antiseptic. Put it on every cut and scrape that anyone has underneath the bandage or underneath the gauze. Even just those two simple things.
And buy things that can do double duty. Basically,
Yes.
that Amy mentioned triangular bandage. They're inexpensive, and you can use them as a sling. You can use them as a head bandage. You can wrap a sprained ankle with them. You can do all sorts of stuff.
And you can make all of that with the white cotton sheets.
On our
You're
YouTube,
cutting them the right shape.
On our Dr. Bones Nurse Amy YouTube channel, we actually have a video on 7 different ways that we use the triangular bandage.
Yeah. So basically all I have to do is get that white cotton sheet into the right size, a big giant triangle, and you can fold it up and do all of those things. So being on a budget, you can find things and the dollar store, unfortunately, the dollar store is mostly no longer $1.
I know.
We went in there and there was a shelf that I think it was at $6 for some things.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? But yeah, they have bandages, they have gauze, they have ACE, they have all kinds of hydrocortisone cream, antiseptic creams, they have Tums, Tylenol, ibuprofen. I mean, you can find a lot of your over-the-counter medications.
And you don't have to get these all at once. You can just, every month say, you know what, I've got this 10 extra bucks. Or
They
I got
a
5
layaway program, don't they?
Costco's great. Costco's great because you get bulk, and a lot of the Costco generic Kirkland brand names are actually real brands. Like by the way, the foil that you buy there is made by Reynolds Wrap. A lot of the wine are made by the high class wine companies. It makes the Kirkland wine. The olive oil is made by like a really nice brand of Italian oil producers. So even though it says Kirkland ibuprofen, it probably is made by the company Tylenol. It's probably brand name.
So just set aside a few bucks a month.
Yes.
And and just buy something every month.
Yep.
Get a little.
Maybe buy a tourniquet in 1 month.
Right.
And then the next month.
Your book would help with that, though. Your book has list of things that they need, correct?
Yes, we do.
Yes, and it has a check, and it has little boxes to check off too.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have every first aid kit known to mankind, and except the rectum. But you have that soon.
I haven't done that one. Yeah.
Soon.
But so look at your site, which is doomandbloom.net.
That is the educational site. And at the top of that, we'll have the YouTube channel that you can click on. It will have our Facebook group that you can click on. It will have the podcast you can click on and listen to our podcast. So it has all
about your podcasts.
Well, our podcast is basically something we've done, probably 500 of them or more
since 2010
over the years. And we basically include several different varied topics in each podcast. The last one I think had internal injuries,
like wound care,
bandages and dressings, and mold remediation, which is something that you keep people healthy. You got to be able to identify environmental hazards.
Right.
So that's another thing. We really didn't talk much about that, but that's important too. And so it's a podcast we've had for a long time.
2010, October of 2010 was our first one.
14 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were in Gatlinburg, and we had terrible internet service because I don't think I was even paying for internet. I think I was stealing my neighbor's internet.
Nice.
Back in 2010, no one had internet in their, houses, really. I mean, it was like maybe. and no one had passwords. There were no internet passwords. If someone had internet, everyone around the neighborhood got it,
Right.
We all just shared it. But yeah, that was a crazy thing. We had terrible service.
So next thing I'm going to do is I'm asking 5 questions.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be quick answers. You don't.
Okay.
And I want you both to answer.
Can the answer be
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
So these
All
are 5 questions, and I'm just reading them myself. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could stockpile one type of canned food for the apocalypse, what would it be?
You mean like freeze dried food?
Nope, just one can in a can. What kind of canned
Would have
food?
been in the past, it would have been Yoder's bacon.
Oh,
It
nice.
lasts for 10 years and comes in cans. But you can get I think they still have butter, and there are a couple of other.
You're not giving one answer.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. That was one answer. Okay,
But you're
Yoder's
not
bacon.
even. Come on, Amy.
He's got Yoder's bacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Canned food. Then I'm gonna say black beans because I've already saved my rice, which is not in a can. So I'm gonna do
have
black
Beano
beans
with
and
it?
white rice, which makes a pretty good
And
wholesome
Beano,
meal.
right?
Protein.
Yeah, it's a pretty. It's got a lot of your nutrition that you need.
Okay.
Black beans.
Which fictional character would you like to survive with during the end times?
Rick Grimes
Rick Grimes
from Walking Dead.
Okay.
Oh heck
Okay.
yes.
I was thinking cartoon.
man with the
but you know
gun.
what? That's good. That's good.
Yeah, or the other one that I would pick would be Deadpool.
Okay.
Hey, he's gonna protect you, man.
I'm trying. I don't really know. You know what?
Superman is another good one.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think.
He could fly. He can go get you food. I mean, come on, this is fictional.
Oh,
Some superhero I'd pick. Absolutely.
all right. Well, I agree with her. Some superhero.
Deadpool, Superman,
Okay.
or Rick Grimes.
Okay. Let me go back to the rules, Dr. Joe. These are quick answers.
I know. I honestly, I have.
Philosophical. You can't do that to people who think
Okay.
a lot.
I can think.
All right, wait, let him ask the next question.
I would
Next
say.
question. Describe your post-apocalyptic fashion statement.
My post-apocalyptic fashion statement.
One word.
Level 3 body armor.
Okay.
Mine's gonna be grunge. I want
Grunge.
to be like a gray man.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Well, oh, no. Well, Gray Man is it? It's got to be Gray Man.
Yeah.
Well,
but
what about behind you? Your little
There's plates
doctor-
and back too, brother.
uh,
There are back plates.
what do you mean
too.
behind me?
the robe, your doctor's outfit.
Oh, that's
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Believe
no,
me,
definitely not that.
you know what that
Definitely
is?
Stay away from white.
That's saying, please kidnap me.
no. I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm doing the all black,
Yeah.
black hair, dark, like dirt all over my face.
What is your go-to method for repelling mutant zombie mosquitoes?
Mutant zombie mosquitoes.
Dragonflies.
Dragonflies. Right. I agree. Dragonflies.
Okay, well we have a big
'Cause we have a
population
lot
of
of
dragonflies.
we
They're
have a
eating
lot of-
all the mosquitoes down here.
Yeah, believe it or not, in South Florida, we don't have a lot of mosquitoes because there's so many dragonflies.
It's
Nice.
Yeah.
lemon eucalyptus. Lemon
Okay.
eucalyptus, not eucalyptus and not lemon. It's a type of oil. It's an herb. It's called lemon eucalyptus, and that is actually approved
By
as
the
an insect
EPA.
repellent.
By the EPA.
Yep, the safe natural oil, lemon eucalyptus.
I'm glad you guys are given properly.
One word answers.
Well, I'm thinking medically approved items here. Okay, the last question. You notice I didn't write these. What would you rather fight off a horde of radioactive mutant squirrels or a pack of genetically modified super chickens?
Genetically
man.
modified super chickens
Chickens, me too.
because I prefer the taste.
No, not me, because the squirrels are radioactive, and those
Squirrels
little
are mean.
I have caught squirrels around my house, and I have not killed them. I have set them free far away near the Everglades in parks so they can be free somewhere else. You know why? Because those little SHITSs eat our coconuts. We
Oh,
have coconut eating squirrels. Supposedly, if you watch National Geographic, there's only one animal on this earth that can get into a coconut, and some crazy crab on an island. But I have coconut eating squirrels that put a circle into our coconuts and eat the insides. They look like they're on drugs. They got crazy eyes and they look like they're drooling.
They're half again as big as the average squirrel.
And they're huge. And they're crazy. They're mutant squirrels.
So we have mutant squirrels.
And so I catch them and I set them apart. But those things, if they were radioactive, they'd hurt us.
Right. But
Yeah,
the chickens aren't.
chickens.
The chickens are just,
I want the chickens.
yes,
My wife
I can
calls
eat
them
those.
yard rats.
yard rats.
Yes. Hate squirrels.
Yeah, she does not like squirrels at all.
They
we
gotta
have
go.
squirrels around here that have raccoon eyes.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You know, in North Carolina, there's an area in North Carolina in the northern part near the Virginia border where there are a whole population of albino squirrels.
Yep. They're wild looking.
We were just
Very
driving.
white.
We were just exploring and driving that area towards Danville, and we just saw white squirrels.
White
all over the
squirrels.
place.
We're like, what the heck? Well, there's a whole bunch of them. Anyway.
They're not
chicken.
ghost. They're not ghost.
No,
No, they were real.
Ooh.
They're real. We both saw them.
could be though. I mean,
No. They were real.
So you guys are going to be at Mountain Readiness. That's the 3rd through the 5th. You'll be teaching. You'll be lecturing one class. You're teaching another class, which they have to go online
Yes.
to sign up for.
That is
Right,
a
but
paid class. Yes.
The hands-on class is a paid class, but the lecture is free.
Yes.
But so literally people can drive and meet the great Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy in a couple weeks. That's
If there was such a person,
Yes.
they could meet them. But
Yeah.
we're just humble people that happen to show up somewhere.
We're just here for the beer.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, my husband doesn't drink, so when he says that, it's a joke.
So tell us about your store, your bags, your books, your podcast, the whole works.
Oh, we
That's
appreciate
very
it.
sweet. So again, easy to remember, doomandbloom.net. At the top of that website, you can find, again, the YouTube link to click on, the podcast link, the Facebook, the Instagram, all the links to our social media if you want to connect with us that way. If you move down a little bit, then you'll see little pictures. One will say books we love. One will say recent articles. One will say medical kits. So the next section will get you to other places, take you to the store, take you to the articles. If you move down, then you're going to start seeing the articles listed. You can look up topics. There's a search engine there that will find a topic for you. There are categories.
We recently hit our 1500th article, podcast, and video combined.
Wow. And then the store, again, if you just remember doomandbloom.net, there's a link to the store there, or store.doomandbloom.net, where you can find the class. You can find all the different medical kits we talk about. All of our books are there. That is the only location you're going to find the color books. I don't sell color books on Amazon. They only have our black and white version. It's the same exact book, but I had privately printed in America on American paper, a color version in paperback, and also I had the first time ever spiral bound. So I have a spiral bound color and a paperback color found on our website.
And they look amazing. It's so different to look through that color book that you have when you're looking at wounds or like
anatomy
rashes.
and physiology. Exactly.
Yeah, rashes on people and stuff.
Yep.
Makes a world of difference. It does.
Yeah, it does. Especially, like I said, the anatomy and physiology of the body is color coded. And you really see that when you're looking at all the bones in the body or the different organs and where things are located. You can get a real feel for it with the color version. Much, much better.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And and I was going to do something. I was going to do something really funny, but I can't. I don't have it in my hand. So I was going to give everybody your phone number. And actually, when you call this number, it plays Rick Ashley. I'm going to never give you up or let you down. That's all it does. You call it. I was going to
give you up. Never going to let you down.
That's
I was going
funny.
to give them. I was going to give that phone number. Call them
And
right
pretend
now.
that it was
Their
us.
number
And
is-
pretend that that people were going to call that and just hear that song. Oh, that's very funny.
But I use that number a lot of times when people go, "Hey, what's your number?" And I give them that number. I have it in my phone. I just couldn't find it.
That's so
fast enough.
funny. What's that other phone number they used to say on the radio? 55. No, there was a
555.
there was a phone number. Yeah.
765-309 or something.
That's it.
Oh.
That's it. Some poor person probably had that phone number a million times. They're like, ah.
Right. Yep. So Rick Ashley's number. Oh, I can't find it now. Oh, that makes me so mad.
Aw.
So, well, I'm going to see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yay.
Wow.
And it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And thank you so much for coming on. I've interviewed you two more than anyone else. Do y'all know that?
I didn't know that. We're very
we
honored.
went through the pandemic. We did videos. We've done
my
We did all sorts of stuff.
podcast.
Oh, I have a
The
question.
insanity.
Are we going to have cicadas?
Oh, I heard about that. See, being in Charlotte, North Carolina, we've had cicadas. Maybe not the massive amount that has been coming out, but last year I remember we had some.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a 200-year
Double.
like it just coordinated with 2 strains coming out, and it's gonna be twice as bad
I don't
as
know.
it's been in over 200 years.
Well, what do we need to do about that?
Get
Can we
earplugs.
harvest them and eat them?
We can actually, you probably could, but I would just get earplugs right now.
And at night, can you imagine trying to sleep to that? Bring
when
a
are they supposed to come
battery-powered
out?
sound machine.
When are they supposed to come out?
They come out in late April, May, June. It's going to be.
While the camping's going on.
It'll just be starting when
I know, right?
at the Mountain Readiness
Right.
event.
Yep. So I didn't know this, but okay, I got to tell you guys, this is kind of like the after show, but I got to tell you guys, this is so my son sends out this image to everyone in the family of like the eclipse coming by.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't even think about it that Charlotte, we're going to see like 80% blockage. I didn't even think about that.
Oh wow.
But in and everyone in the United States will be able to see partial eclipse.
yes.
And so didn't think about this. And I replied, oh, I still have my glasses. And so for the next 15 minutes, him and the rest of the young kids in our family chat are making fun of me saving glasses that you can look at the eclipse from like 7 years ago. He goes, that's such a dad old person thing to do.
Hey, you know, you never know when you use it.
You never know.
But he's your age, believe me, he's going to be saving more than just glasses.
And the funny thing is, other family members text me, said, I got mine too. They would not dare say that they got theirs as well.
Why would we get rid of them? They don't take up that much space.
Yeah.
Right.
And why should I buy them again?
He called me a boomer. He was calling me all kinds of names.
Oh,
We have so
these
much.
kids.
We have so much stuff here that we just can't get rid of. I mean, I'm just looking around at the library here. It's just amazing, you know.
Well, awesome. I can't wait to see you guys
All right, same here.
it'll be fun.
in May. Are y'all coming in on Thursday?
I don't think so.
We might have to come in on Friday.
Okay.
When does it start on
It
Friday?
supposedly starts on Friday.
On Friday
Starts on
morning
Friday.
or
Yeah, Friday morning.
Friday morning?
I think we may just be there Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday, and well, we'll see. We'll see what the story is.
Yeah. Hey, everyone.
It was really rough on us last time.
Oh yeah. Well, did we go out to eat last time? I don't know.
Yes.
We did. Okay.
We did. Oh yeah,
Yeah, we
we had
did.
to wait at a restaurant for quite a while. Remember? And then everyone was trying to coordinate which restaurant. It was
Right.
confusing
And
because
then
there
we
were like
ended
two
up going
locations.
to a different restaurant. Right?
No, was that in Tennessee though, or Harmony?
Oh, you don't think you? Oh, could it have been? Could have been in Tennessee.
Oh,
that
I
was
thought
in Tennessee.
Oh, was it?
Oh,
Yeah, we went to the steakhouse.
oh, right. Because I mean, I don't know what there is near
I don't either.
Harmony. I don't think there's a place to eat.
There's cows and pigs and chickens.
Cows and pigs and chickens. Things to eat, but
They all sound good. If somebody will cook
Yeah.
it for me,
we're a few steps away from being.
I'll eat all that if somebody will cook it for me.
Yep. Hey guys, thanks for joining me with my special guests, Dr. Bones, Joe Alton, and Amy Alton on this incredible podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Prepping Academy podcast. Preppers Unite at www.preppingacademy.com.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.